Ready.
We rolling? Okay.
My father's gay.
Hey, everybody. This is the Huge Movie Podcast, the only movie podcast that knows the Nazis were kind of dicks. My name's Chris Carfaro. Alongside me, we got Connor Garrigan.
How you doing?
John Gallagher.
Howdy.
Jack Mayberry behind the camera,
Yes.
working the angles. So, guys, big one today.
Big one.
Yeah, we had cool versus not very cool were the matchup for me. But before we get into it, we've got a little something called the synopsis surprise, right, John?
Ooh, oh, yeah.
I forgot to check with you if you had one up before
I've
we
got
started.
an absolute classic this
Oh, let's
time.
go.
I like the snaps.
I hate it.
Here we
What are we
go.
doing here?
And we're not wasting any time this week.
No, we're getting right into it.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this film has an approval rating of 3% based on 152 reviews, with an average rating of 2.8 out of 10.
Oh.
The critical consensus stated, ugly, campy, and poorly acted. Blank is a stunningly misguided, aggressively bad genre, blank, folly. I'm not telling you the genre yet. Audiences gave it a D+ on an A+ to F scale. And let's read some of these reviews because it's good stuff.
Are they shitting on Vin Diesel again?
Roger Ebert. It's in so many words. Roger Ebert gave the film a 0.5 star out of 4 and compared his screening to taking a bus trip with someone who has needed a bath for a long time. It's not merely bad; it's unpleasant in a hostile way. I watched it in mounting gloom, realizing I was witnessing something historic, a film that for decades to come will be the punchline of jokes about bad movies.
Is this the Love
Damn.
Guru?
Leonard Maltin rated the film
I
a
would cry.
bomb.
It might be.
It's not.
All right.
Love
Clumsy
Guru
plot,
too.
misplaced satire, unbelievable coincidences, and a leaden pace. Trample Blank's weird but amusing performance.
Leaden, like the pace was weighed down by lead?
I think so. That's the idea.
I've never heard that.
David Blyler said, "This is disjointed, tedious, and every bit as bad as its reputation." Rita Kempley, this is a good one. She said of the Washington Post, "A million monkeys with a million crayons would be hard-pressed in a million years to create anything as cretinous as blank." This film version of somebody's futuristic novel is so breathtakingly awful in concept and execution, it wouldn't tax the smarts of a
John
troglodyte.
Carter.
Nope.
Ooh, that is a good guess, though. Is this a sequel?
No.
Oh.
You could say it's always been happening throughout our existence, though, and the entire existence of the world. It may be a bit early to make such
The
judgments,
Passion of the Christ.
but this may well turn out to be the worst movie of this century.
What century was it made in?
Everything about blank sucks. This 21st century. It was made in 2000. Everything about blank sucks. Everything. The over-the-top music, the unbelievable sets, the terrible dialogue, the hammy acting, the lousy special effects, the beginning, the middle, and especially the end.
Can I say something about this critic?
Yes.
This was made in the year 2000,
Yes.
and she said it was possibly going to go down as the worst movie of the century.
That's incredible.
That is calling her shot. The
is
century
incredible.
just started. Oh, fuck.
J.D. Shapiro wrote the original screenplay, and he was critical of the film. He asserted that his draft bore little resemblance to the final script. He said, "The only time I saw the movie was at the premiere, and that was one too many times."
Poseidon.
No, I love the guesses, guys.
So it is a sci-fi, though, is what I'm getting.
Yep. It is a sci-fi.
Oh, wow.
Adapted
I was gonna say
from a
Mamma
novel?
Mia, 'cause you said a musical number. Did you say a musical number?
Can you
No musical numbers.
give us some of the stars in the film?
Sure can.
Go from the bottom of the top bill.
Yeah. Which I don't know if this is accurate, but it's like the way I've perceived like opening credits. Is it that the first two are like the biggest names, and then the last person when it says and like for Reservoir Dogs it said Tim Roth?
It's
Is
just
he
a stylistic thing.
No, but I think it's like indicated, so it's like best
Maybe in the
person,
past.
second or most famous person, second most famous person, and then all the way at the back, third most famous person.
That's not
That's not
Maybe.
intentional.
I think the billing term comes from plays,
Oh.
but I don't know if that actually has any meaning anymore.
Okay.
I think that was just a stylistic choice in that film.
Gotcha.
All right, so you're probably not going to know any of these people because I don't. Kelly Preston, Richard Tyson, Sabine Carcenti, Kim Coates. I'll give you one. Forrest Whitaker.
Ooh.
The Last King of Scotland.
No, but
The
wow.
Pianist.
You came in hot with that. No.
Is it a pianist?
South Park parodied the film at the 2000 MTV Movie Awards.
Indiana Jones.
No.
Forrest Whitaker was the lead.
No, he was not the lead.
Are you
I
not-
can't tell you the lead.
Oh, is it that obvious?
Well, should I just start telling you?
I think you have to.
The lead also directed the film. Or no, did not direct the film. Never mind, produced the film. Did not direct it.
Oh, that happens a lot.
But you'll understand. You'll understand. He is also I don't know.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, I like where we're
That's
going.
not bad either. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Star Trek.
It received 8 Golden Raspberry Awards, which was the most Razzies given to a single film until 2012. And it won Worst Picture of the Decade in 2010.
Again, it just started. Oh, you're saying it was retroactive. Okay.
Yep. Let's see. So once again, adapted from a novel.
Mars
by
Attacks?
A very famous,
Can you give us the author?
famous person.
Yeah, give us the author of the novel. And it
Sure.
wasn't.
I'll give you the author.
Oh, is it?
L. Ron Hubbard.
It's. Oh, fucking. So Tom Cruise is the lead?
No.
No, he's not.
The other one.
John Travolta?
Yes.
Oh, what fucking movie is that?
Is it the novel of the same name?
Yeah.
God,
He envisioned
I
Travolta
can picture him. He's
envisioned
got
it-
like the dreadlocks and everything. And fucking,
He envisioned it as the first in a 2-part adaptation. They never did the second one, believe it or not.
I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Hellboy.
Damn.
Yes.
Guys, this is
I don't
the
remember the
historical
name.
text of our existence.
It's not Dianetics, is it?
No, it's not the name.
That's not the name.
I thought that
No,
was
it's
the
not.
name of
Is it?
This
on
is
the,
our Bible.
the Mormons.
No.
I know
what-
South Park
the
loves
Book of
making fun of the
Scientology,
Mormons.
I thought.
It's the Book of Scientology.
Oh, fucking. Not Battle. It's.
Battlefield Earth.
There
Yes,
it is.
yes.
There we go.
Yes.
That was a team effort.
Yeah.
Jack
And-
suck a dick.
That's
I'm happy he got it.
We got it.
we got it. We all got it together. A bit of a segue because one of the 2 directors that we're going to discuss today, not the child rapist, but the other one, cast John Travolta in a role that revitalized his career, only for John Travolta 6 years later to turn that revival into fucking Battlefield Earth.
I was like, wait a second. Quentin Tarantino's a child rapist?
Oh no, the
It's
other
the
one.
other guy.
Travolta.
Maybe that's why he's in Scientology. Who knows?
Anything's possible with Scientology.
But anyway,
For
John,
real.
that was a great segue.
Great one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great synopsis surprise. Great segue into our matchup today, which is The Pianist, which you have to say very carefully.
Boo.
You didn't like The Pianist?
I think you should emphasize the "an," like pianist.
Pianist.
Penis.
The pianist.
Pianist. I have the longest pianist here.
How many
Yeah.
keys?
Makes sense.
It's just one white key.
One white one.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
meant like
one-
your pianist is actually long. Like I don't know. Like Adrian Brody's like 6'9".
He's
He is
6'9"?
pretty tall.
No, he's not 6'9".
All right, sorry. Let's get into this. It's The Pianist from 2002.
He's not girthy though.
Versus Reservoir Dogs from 1992. That one's directed by Quentin Tarantino. I did not know. I don't even know who the actual director is for The Pianist.
Roman
Roman
Polanski. man.
Polanski.
Oh,
Adrian Brody's only 6'1".
This was the movie. This is like the movie that like is gonna just haunt Hollywood for the rest of their lives.
What would you
Okay,
guys have
why?
guessed Adrian Brody's height is?
6'2".
I
Really?
assumed.
Yeah.
I assumed he
I
was.
would've guessed, like,
okay,
6'5".
Hold on. Ready? Are you gonna tell us?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Actually said it
I
already.
initially had the same. initially had the same reaction, but I have been watching Succession, and he's in like a little bit of a story arc in Succession, 3rd season,
You're one of them now.
and he stands next to Brian Cox
And Jeremy Strong, right?
Yeah. So he's got to be, I want to say, 6 foot.
6'1".
It's close.
6'1". Yeah.
Yeah, but
weren't you
those
6'2"?
Germans are so tiny.
Same distance.
That's true.
You know,
But I went over Price is Right rules.
Oh, thank you.
Polish.
There's another one for me.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's talk about Roman Polanski a little bit since we
I
already.
think, yeah, we should just... These things I think you kind of have to talk about,
Yeah.
especially shit like this, because this movie's so good.
And
And
this
he's
is
such an accomplished director. First
an
off, he has a
amazing
very
director.
complicated life as well. Like, very traumatic upbringing.
very traumatic, like early career
Early
as well.
career,
With the
too.
whole Sharon Tate stuff.
Yeah, he had already made a name for himself then, so it's tough to say that's early career, but traumatic nonetheless.
It's still part of his life.
Yep. And then
Things went for a turn.
on the set of Chinatown, that was like the whole allegedly drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl or something like that.
Jesus.
I don't think it's alleged.
It's
So
accurate.
he pleaded guilty to sexual misconduct, not rape or whatever.
Which is a lesser charge.
And then the judge was a nutbag too. So that muddies the waters as well because he was never actually sentenced. The judge last minute changed the guilty plea and was gonna ignore it and wanted him to go to jail for 50 years, mostly to make a show of it. And judge was just a nutbag too. So that ruined it, and Polanski left and then never faced any time, never faced any justice. It was, yeah. And then he made this movie.
So because he fled the country at this point. So this, I guess, technically a foreign film, and he still makes quite a few movies from where is he at now? Austria.
Yeah, but he doesn't make a lot. He just made apparently a really good one in 2019.
Yeah, there's one that I watched that was like an adaptation from a play that was really good that all took place in one room. So it was like one of those cool ones.
Do you think he made this movie as an allegory for his own plight being so wrongly chased from his own country?
Yeah, it seemed like the entire world was after him.
But this was the one that he won the Academy Award and couldn't come because the warrant was
Right.
out for his arrest in Hollywood.
Interesting. Because that is also something.
Because of the allegations? Or
Charges. So like
It's not
Yeah.
allegations.
No.
Like everyone confirms that what
Yeah.
happened.
I
yeah.
don't even know who the guy is, to be totally honest.
Look him up. He's a funny looking guy. It's very interesting that because he's banned from the Oscars, right?
He's
and Will
banned from
Smith.
America. Like if he comes here, he gets arrested.
Oh.
Like it's not just like banned from the Oscars.
So he's banned from the Emmys as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty interesting because Adrian Brody is also banned from the Oscars now.
What?
For what?
I don't know. Can you look that up, someone?
Same with Will Smith.
Are you lying?
No, I mean, this is hearsay. I'll admit it right there, but I'm pretty sure he's on the list of people who are banned from the Oscars. Now, having said that,
He was banned from SNL.
oh, that might be the list I'm thinking about. Why was he banned from SNL?
It's probably a nightmare to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, his performance was incredible.
There is a article, because I was looking up Roman Polanski, but something says, why does Ezra Miller get a flash pass, but not Woody Allen or
That's
Roman
pretty funny.
Polanski?
A flash pass. I don't know. So while
Oh
you
my
guys
god.
what?
Oh my god. Did you guys ever see this?
No, what is it?
He's banned from SNL because he went off script and walked on stage to present his intro wearing faux dreadlocks and donned a Jamaican accent Because Sean Paul was performing. Holy shit.
That's fucking wild.
Like,
That's hilarious.
how does someone, like, how do you win Best Actor at the Oscars and you're also that fucking, like, dumb?
Sean Paul
I don't know,
just
dude.
like does
Gary
stuff,
Oldman
dude.
also donned dreadlocks.
Yeah, well, you hate
That
him.
was for a character.
That's true.
For
That's
a character
pretty
in a
fucking
movie.
funny though.
This had zero.
This is outrageous.
But this is like something that we've already kind of run across in multiple movies that we've discussed so far. It's like this is such an obvious example of separating the art from the artist. Like I still think that you can have this movie be on its own without all of the baggage from the director. We've seen other movies so far. American Beauty, the director was problematic. There was one other one that we did recently. Well, yeah, Kevin Spacey and The Usual Suspects and American
Leon the
Beauty.
Professional.
Leon the
Why
Professional.
are all directors, it seems like, just out of their minds?
It's because they want everything in place.
Just
you
all
know?
the directors that critics love, man.
I feel like it's almost a front. Like they feel like they have to.
I don't think so, but maybe.
They're just swinging their dicks around.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
They become directors because
They can't act.
they're sexual deviants.
Awkward.
Anyway,
I was trying to figure out how to segue from
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
but
it kind of sucks because, I mean, obviously what he did was fucking terrible, but like he has a very strong connection to the Holocaust. Like his whole family does.
yeah.
And separating the art from the artist, you lose that too. So like any type of empathy you could feel towards him and his family, it kind of gets tainted, and you can't, it like gets taken out of the movie. Like that would have added so much to the movie as well. As sad as it still is, like it still adds to the movie. And then now, you like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to be empathetic towards this guy. You know?
Yeah, but if you take that away though and separate that,
And
although
it's just a story, which
Yeah.
you know, I think most of the movie actually even just relies on the performances and the writing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much this is a good movie because of Roman Polanski.
I don't think so. I mean, it's obviously like shot beautifully, and the pacing of the movie was great because you did get it like a huge sense of like dread and hopelessness.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have a whole list of what I found the most disturbing in the movie, and the list is very long.
Sure.
So,
you
like,
want to get into
adding
it?
that stuff to the movie is just that was his choice. So,
Yeah.
written in the book by Vladislav Spielman. Yeah. Hope maybe it's just in my head that I'm assigning what I liked about this movie to the writing and the performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, it's like, I think the thing about this matchup that's so interesting, and because these movies are so good, but like The Pianist is like a movie that it's there to tell that story, right? Like they do a really good job of telling that story, and that's why it's a great movie. Reservoir Dogs is a movie that is made to entertain, and he does an incredible job. They do an incredible job of that, and they're like totally different. And that's our cue. All right, thanks, guys.
yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's thundering outside. This is going to be released on Halloween as a spooky episode.
I thought that the movie though was like phenomenal, but it's not something I could want to watch numerous times. It's like
Pianist.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of movies that like I feel like you learn from, and that's something that like it felt like actually a human experience over like a full-on movie. Like it felt like you could really resonate with like what was happening.
Yeah, and it's pretty like it's a transcendent story, you know, because obviously like so many families were just completely destroyed. Not obviously only Jewish people, but the entire area of Eastern Europe. And it's like this movie, I think, as far as a lot of the World War II movies and a lot of movies focusing on the Holocaust, this one is probably up there in the top 3 for me, best Holocaust movies.
Oh yeah.
You know, in sense of historical significance, in sense of just like bringing you into that arena, and then just the performances overall. Like this thing, I feel is a masterpiece. I really do, and unfortunately, it's by a guy who's a little bit, let's just say, unsavory.
Yeah.
But it, again, you got to separate it in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never had them together. Like, I didn't even
Easy
know
to
who
separate
it was,
if they're
you know
never
what I mean?
together.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as you jump right into Vladislav Spielman's life, who was a real pianist. This movie is an autobiographical or a biographical drama, so this shit happened. With probably certain liberties taken, but I think it would be distasteful to take many liberties, so I don't think many were taken. So I think a lot of what you see is what happened. I didn't read the book. This is just an assumption I'm making because
That's what we're
gut
here
feeling.
to do.
Yeah.
We're not the huge book podcast.
But the movie right away, you start with him playing piano about a year and a half into the war, right? Somewhere around there. I don't know the historic.
There's no mystery about why it's called The Pianist right from the beginning.
No, but his radio station gets blown up and he's making jokes. He's chasing after a woman. It's normal to him already. And the way that you pick that up right away was just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true.
It's heartbreaking,
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the movie, you are just reminded that it is going to get worse, and it keeps getting worse until at the end, when it ends, it's not really better because everything still happened, but
Yeah.
it ended at least.
Yeah, you're back to some sort of normalcy at the end of the day.
I mean, and just death and destruction is just the backdrop to the whole movie, and it is just fucking every chance it gets, it smacks you in the face and reminds you how terrible this time was for these people.
I also thought a really cool thing that they did in the way that they kind of portrayed different events in the movie is because I think they did this intentionally, but this might just be me over analyzing some parts of this. What's Spielman, right? That's the last name. He was kind of like a famous musician. He was well known in certain parts of the movies. People recognized him, especially towards the end of the movie. They did a really good job of switching his perspective on the violence and the horrors of what was going on around him. I think about when he's, at first going through the town, you just kind of see the Nazi activity in the town. He's kind of one layer removed from that a little bit. And I think that's by design to show you that although he is Jewish in a Nazi occupied area, he does have a little bit of status, even if it's minimal. And then there are other parts because, he, using his connections, was able to go to different places and find different, escape houses or hideaways or whatever you want to call it. And a lot of his observation of the horrors that were going on were through windows overlooking the battlefield, if you will, a little bit. And then once the Nazis start closing in on him more, once he's kind of out of options, then you see him really struggling through all of the rubble in the war, going through the camps, although he does go through a lot of the camp and ghetto stuff at the beginning too. But it's very there's a distinct switch towards the end of the movie in the third act where all of a sudden he stops being more of a passive observer and then really just dumps into the shit. And then you can also see that wearing on him in his physical appearance. He's much more gaunt. He's growing a full beard. His long hair is all frazzled and stuff like that. Juxtaposed and earlier in the movie, when he is staring outside of the window, he's still put together even though he is on the run. And I just thought that was a really interesting way of portraying how long he had made it in the journey and also the toll the journey took on him. any of that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's
Midway through, I'm like, where are you gonna go with this, Chris?
What was like the craziest scene for you guys?
I have a list.
Oh,
You have a
yeah.
list?
Let's get into your list.
Yeah,
Can I start with
I-
mine?
Oh,
Just-
can I say one thing before we get into
Yeah.
serious stuff?
Yeah, you haven't said much yet.
They did the same thing as Gladiator and used like English accents in a lot of the parts. And it might just be because it's a hard accent to do, but it was really starting to
They
throw
try
me
to do
off.
Polish accents.
It was really starting to throw me off though, because there were a couple who weren't as committed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Adrian Brody. I think he did a great job, but there are some side characters who
Yeah.
got a little British. at
But
some
didn't you
points.
hear in Casablanca the Romanian accent is just the British accent?
You yelled at people?
I feel
Anyway,
like
sorry
they're all
about that.
kind of English. Like they all, when they speak in English, they all sound.
That's what I'm
English.
saying. Right.
No, but in general, like I mean, even like if a German person's like talking to me, I feel like I hear a little bit of English.
So any person
know.
in general?
It's a European thing.
What about like
They just all sound the
Everybody
same.
just sounds British.
Yeah, I don't know. It just floats over my head.
All right. What about Italian people?
I don't like them. I don't know many. But my saddest scene was when they tossed the guy from the window,
Yeah.
like with the
that
wheelchair.
was
Yeah,
crazy.
I
dude.
like had to pause it and like get up and walk around the couch for a second because it was
Yeah.
just like I couldn't even handle
That scene's tough.
But that kinda
I mean,
goes
that starting there in the next 5 minutes is
Yeah.
brutal too.
That starts to go in what I was saying though, because like that all happened. They're watching that happen through the window, right? Their family wasn't chosen yet, so it's like they kind of are separated from the fact they know it's coming because it seems inevitable. But that's just like another reminder that they have to mind their p's and q's, otherwise they could be put out on the street. You know?
Yeah.
See, as much as they're observers, they're still surrounded by it though. That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, my reaction to watching this movie is like it's so like childishly like fucking like pro-war and shit, but like I just watch this and I'm like, man, to be like they did some bad things, but to be like a Russian soldier getting in here and getting to just kill these fuckers at the end of this
yeah.
would be so satisfying. Like, I just wanted to fucking kill a Nazi so badly.
Yeah, dude. They threw that last jab at you as far as like pulling on your heartstrings when he's like, finally, they're here to rescue me. But he forgets he's
Yeah.
wearing the Nazi jacket and they start
Yeah.
shooting at him.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of crazy. But yeah, there was a weird sense of patriotism towards the Russian side at the end.
Well, I've always had that. Like,
Yeah, it's because you're a commie
Makes you kind
bastard.
of support them.
yeah, you guys know that. I've always been supportive. No, but I mean,
Hey, everyone, this is the Huge Movie Podcast, the only movie podcast that fully supports communism.
Pro Russia.
Russia is not communism, guys.
Anyway,
I do fully support communism. I do not fully support Russia.
they're a democracy.
Let that be clear.
it's because you hate freedom.
I do.
All right, sorry, Connor. What's that
I don't
list you
know.
were
I don't know if I
talking
want to
about?
do this.
Well, maybe pick and choose.
It doesn't feel in
Why
good
don't you do
taste.
two?
Or do one, see if it's terrible. We'll cut it out and then move on.
I mean, there's so many dead children. Just it as a backdrop. It's-
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things.
Let's put up the counter, guys.
No.
There was so many.
I know.
I have throwing the old man out of the window on there. When the guy tries to steal the food from the woman and drops it on the ground
my
and then
God.
starts eating it off the ground. I mean, it wasn't as violent, but
It shows you how
said just
dehumanizing
as much,
everything
yeah.
was. He literally looked like a rat on the street, you know? And then that woman, like, that was her only food. And she just didn't know what else to do but cry and, like, smack the guy. That wasn't going to change anything.
yeah. And then the what did I do it? Why did I do it, lady?
Oh yeah.
And the
Oh,
rea-
fuck, I
and
forgot about that
subsequent
too.
reactions to her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I agreed with the sister, though. She was getting annoying. Hey, man.
You know what was really interesting about this, like compared to other Holocaust, films and stuff, is when they showed them, when they actually showed them going outside of the ghetto, and like these people are just living a normal life.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't think
until-
about Europe being like that at all,
yeah,
right?
like until I mean, that whole city got fucked after like the resistance movement, right? But until then, it's like these people were living right outside these walls and
Yeah.
just, just going to the fucking market and stuff. And it's like you don't usually see that.
That was almost just as disturbing as things I have listed here because it's I obviously knew something terrible was going on the other side of those walls, but what do they really know? How close those two worlds are together at one time is just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have when they're doing the one firing squad and they have him lay down after that scene.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, and he goes down the line shooting all of them, and he gets to the last one and he has to reload. So he does reload and shoots him.
Yeah.
Like that was like terrible. Like
Dude.
like
Yeah.
completely. They're such monsters. Dude.
That's kind of funny too because we also had a clip unloading and shooting while the gun was unloaded in Reservoir Dogs. When
Oh yeah.
Mr. Orange shoots Blondie
Oh yeah,
or Mr. Blonde,
yeah.
and he's like, "So I just want to end his life." That after the clip's done and the gun's fully cocked back, he's like, "Tick, tick."
He'd been thinking about killing that guy for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Adrian Brody was fucking phenomenal. Deserved the award.
He
Youngest
won
person
Best
to win it.
Actor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
29 at the time.
I think he was
29?
I feel that
I haven't done any.
He was
Looked
probably he was
42.
28. I think he was 28 when he lost a lot of weight. He
He
like
was 113 pounds.
yeah.
And was he 6'2"? That's crazy.
I think
To
he was
start the
looking for an
movie, he was
excuse
only
to break up with his
130 pounds.
girlfriend. I think that's why he took the role.
Yeah, I saw a funny thing perusing through Instagram the other day, and it was like all of the actors who went through like insane weight losses for movies, and obviously the big one's Christian Bale because you saw that meme when he was Batman of like him beefed up and then him and the Machinist. But Adrian Brody was on there. What's his face? They did Natalie Portman from Black Swan. God damn it! I just had the pictures in my head and I can't remember. Emil Hirsch from Into the Wild. He was like more skeleton than most of them, which was kind of crazy for me because you don't even think about that one.
Yeah, it's just for like 2 seconds at the end.
Yeah, and they had some other guys, but I won't bore us.
I mean, we have to talk like more about Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
like,
I think Adrian Brody for the longest time has been one of my favorite actors to watch. I'm upset that he doesn't have more like leading man roles. I think he crushes it.
I think he's a nightmare to work with.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah,
Is that what you've heard?
yeah.
Why? Because his nose gets in the way?
No, he's just a very method actor. I'm pretty sure, like, or very committed to his roles. Kind of a drama queen, but I could be making this all up. And sorry, Adrian Brody.
It's interesting because he's in a bunch of Wes Anderson movies. You would think if he was
Yeah,
annoying
true.
in them, he wouldn't keep being in them. Especially because
true.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's
you're
probably
right.
fun to make those movies.
Yeah.
But
Can you
I
go
don't
to
know.
his filmography?
But he might treat those differently.
Is that
Yeah.
what this is?
He does a lot.
Oh yeah, shit.
Summer of Sam.
But I was saying,
Yeah,
like,
Summer of Sam, I think, was his first. Like his name started getting out there, right?
is that a Son of Sam
I think
movie?
so.
Oh,
It's about the summer in New York during the
was it awesome?
Sam murders.
Because that out of all the serial
That's-
killers,
is
one
that
of the more interesting
Spike Lee?
ones, right?
Summer
Yes.
of Sam?
Yes.
Right?
I just never watched it. Pianist. What other one?
Oh, The Village.
The Village was
Fucking
kind of
love The Village.
Well, didn't he play like a Simple Jack type character in that? Yeah. Never.
King Kong.
One of the
And
great
then he's got
movies.
his Wes Anderson run.
I loved him in The
Okay.
Experiment.
Yeah, I mean that's the hammed up experiment movie.
Yeah, the Stanford Experiment. Which I actually found out that might be more closely related to another experiment that they did years later. the BBC made a television series about the prison experiment. And I think it's closer related to that one.
Oh wow.
Still very dramatized.
Oh, I did love him in Midnight. Talk about another problematic director, but Midnight in Paris. He plays
Who directed
Salvador
that?
Dali.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Yeah.
He plays Salvador
Why?
Dali, and he's very funny.
That is a good
So
movie.
he can. You know what? He is a pleasure to work with. I don't know why that is in my head. Because
I could see it.
he is very funny too, dude.
Dude, he does have
He's had
great
such a good
comic
career.
timing.
Yeah.
Especially in the Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah.
In the Darjeeling Express.
Talk about actors suited for a director. Like him, Jason Schwartz, the Wilsons. Like, yeah.
Dude, I don't know why, but when I was watching the
Schwartzman.
Darjeeling Express,
Limited.
the limited, whatever. It's a train.
T.
Spill.
When he was playing with his glasses in that movie and used them for like comedic punchlines, like someone would say something absurd and then holy shit, then he'd wear his glasses like up here and they just like drop on his face and he had like a goofy look.
Yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
me, that was pure comedy. I
Yeah.
loved that stuff.
He that's his best Wes Anderson role. No, but we're not talking about Wes Anderson, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drag us into that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this movie's a rough one to watch. Going into it, this was my second viewing of it. It didn't prepare me any better for the second viewing. Like, I still went through the entire range of emotions that I did for the first time. Even though, spoiler alerts, guys, this movie came out in 2002. Although he ended up coming out unscathed at the end, I was still, like, fearing for him. And I think that that comes down to a really well-made movie, in order to keep that same feeling from the first time, and two, just the fact that this is just horrible subject matter. So no matter what, you're gonna see some horrific shit.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing it.
What did you think as a first timer?
I mean, it's an amazing movie.
It's like the best movie you don't want to watch again.
No,
Well,
for me that's
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, for me that's Requiem.
You haven't watched that one yet.
Gotta watch that
You
one.
still haven't?
I don't think so. Oh, that's the one with Jim Carrey.
No,
that's
no.
Endless Sunshine.
We did it the same week,
or
though.
Eternal Sunshine.
Uh,
Guys, if you haven't watched either one of those movies, pause right now, watch it, come back. Let us know what you think in the comments.
We'll still be here.
You want to make the flip?
Yeah.
All right. Reservoir Dogs.
Can we pause the recording?
Yeah, we can pause.
Catch you guys on the flippity flip.
Okay, let's cut.
Let's get it started in here. Yeah. Running.
Come on, y'all.
Running.
Let's get
woo!
woo!
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ay.
All right, let's go full film, bro.
I feel like this would be the only
Yeah.
group I'd want to be in a hot tub with.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
means a lot.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that, though.
Really? I love hot
I'm
tubs.
self-conscious of my tits.
What?
What? Your tits are great.
They look great.
I got
Yeah.
mommy milkers. Are we going?
Reservoir Dogs.
Did you turn that on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Leave it in.
And
Leave
cut it,
this
cut
one
it,
in.
and cut it.
Reservoir Dogs, 1992 neo-noir crime film.
You're saying
Love
it
the
too
use
fast.
of neo-noir.
Start now.
Stop. I
Welcome
just
back after our break.
Reservoir Dogs, 1992 neo-noir crime film. I love the use of neo-noir as a
They
genre.
call
for
it a
this movie.
neo-noir?
On Wikipedia, they do.
There's no
Which I
femme
love because
fatale.
it's kind of a noir
All right.
thriller.
We're
there's-
starting again because you guys
No,
are
this-
talking over each other.
We're
I was
talking about
making a point.
movies.
I couldn't
No.
hear them.
I got a point.
What point?
That point. Dyke.
Yeah, but it doesn't still keeps some of the structure of a noir film, but also changes enough to where the neo is warranted.
I thought there was a definition of noir film where there had to be a femme fatale, though.
Not neo noir.
Oh, okay.
Neo noir it subverts the genre a little bit.
Less sexist.
Although you could argue that having not a single female character is
Also
sexist in
pretty
its own way.
sexist. No, there was a female
Directed
character.
When she got shot.
No, when Steve Buscemi rips the lady out of the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when Orange kills the one woman.
Yeah.
That was empowering.
Yeah.
They know how to treat women right.
Directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Chris Penn, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Tierney, Michael Madsen.
Is Chris Penn Sean Penn's brother?
Yeah.
They looked very familiar, but I didn't know.
He died when he was young, too.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Did he get sick or was it...
Like a heart attack or something.
Yeah, he's a bigger boy.
Yeah. But I loved him. I was sad to hear that he was dead after the first time I saw this because I wanted to watch more movies with him in it.
Yeah, he's an interesting
Very
actor.
infectious.
Yeah.
Very charming. Like, you wanted to watch him when he was on screen.
Just his eyes.
He's one of the guys that I remember. Like, I've seen Reservoir Dogs a few times. I hadn't seen it for a long time though. But like a lot of Chris Penn's lines always like stuck out, and I always remembered them in my head. Fucking stop pointing that gun at my dad! Like,
Yeah.
He
I love
reminded
that
me
so much.
of like a original Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
the
a little
first
bit, yeah.
Jonah Hill.
he sounds like him a lot.
And then Mr. Pink or Steve Buscemi, I think.
Buscemi, yeah.
Buscemi, yeah. I
Buscemi.
can't picture him in anything besides an Adam Sandler movie.
I know.
So
Crazy
it was
Eyes?
really tough to
Yeah,
like
he was in good movies
take
too.
him serious.
Nah, he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
He's really good.
Do you want to start lead off with some quotes? Because I got some fun ones too.
I just want to say, just because we just brought up Steve Buscemi, great running actor. He was
Yes,
running, and I was not
yes.
expecting it at all. He can run, and he looks good running.
Yeah, he's not a bad runner.
Yeah.
There are bad runners in acting, and he's not one of them.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see like best actor track race.
I mean, Tom Cruise wins every time. Can run on camera like no one else.
Yeah, but that's because he gets special training. I'm talking about
They all do.
all naturals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of agree with you. I'm sick of all these like fighting matches. Like I want a 100-yard dash.
I want foot races on
Yeah,
camera.
like, let's go to the track.
One of my favorites, and it's just because of the way he says it, but at the very opening scene when Harvey Keitel and Tim Roth are in the car, Tim Roth's character got shot, and he's trying to like reassure him that he's not going to die. He says he's not going to die like 4 times in a row, and then the 5th time he's like, "You're going to be okay."
that's another one. That's always stuck out to me.
It's so funny. It gets me every time.
I like the way the cop says his name, mostly because he's just been beaten to shit. But he goes, Marvin Nash. Yeah.
And then they've got very epic stories in the movie, which obviously Quentin Tarantino is a good storyteller, but there's a lot of breakdowns of individual stories inside of the movie. Like you have the restaurant scene where Steve, and I'm gonna keep saying Buscemi because I grew up on I grew up on the Shemi.
I'm having fun with the battle we're having right now.
Okay. But his character, Mr. Pink, talks about how he doesn't tip, and that's like a great back and forth around a table of people sharing food. Quentin Tarantino really.
And it's the same scene as the Madonna conversation.
Yep, same exact one. And then the alibi that Tim Roth's character has to build to go
The
undercover.
Commode story.
The Commode story. Both of those, all 3 of those, are just like great examples of storytelling within a movie. Not to just have like a funny story there, but you build their personalities through these stories, right? Mr. Pink doesn't like to tip. He ends up being the guy with the diamonds, is greedy with the diamonds, and stashes them for a later pickup because he doesn't trust anybody else.
Tim Roth's character rats him out right away.
Yep. Yeah.
I just don't think it needed to be like a 10-minute opening scene of them talking about the tipping.
I love that scene.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
It just took a while to get the movie going, I feel like.
Yeah, but
That is the movie. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that first 5-10 minutes of that.
The whole movie, in a nutshell, is these guys are cool. Deal with how cool they are, right? And that is the perfect opening for that type of movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like Quentin Tarantino loves those little things that you might not think of from like an older movie. So, like a heist movie, you have these guys, and usually in a heist movie, they only ever talk about the plan, what they're going to do with the money, how much it sucks to not have it yet. Like, that's all they ever talk about. And he's like, but that's just not the case, because they're a bunch of guys just hanging out. They're going to talk about stupid shit, because that's what guys do when they're just hanging out like this and they don't have anything else to do. So that's why he showed like all this stuff. And I love that.
It was in 1992.
yeah.
Right.
The other
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No, yeah.
The other cool like subversion of the heist movie genre was the anonymity of all of their characters. There was no explanation of, oh, we used to do tours back in Nam together and ran drugs for the cartel. It's like, nah, I hired this guy. I trust him. His name's Mr. Pink. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you get a little exposition from some people, but
The close guys.
yeah, like Mr. Blonde, is a friend of those two guys. The one guy's his son.
Mr. White.
About
something.
it, like yeah.
Yeah. So that, again, that's just like another interesting way to tell.
And you don't need anything else.
Yeah. Mr. Blonde. Wait, what's wrong, John?
That fly's gonna bother me too.
Oh, I thought you were
I don't
about
even
to
know how
make.
it fucking got in here.
You know what? You know what's wrong? I don't. What can we say about this movie that four film bros haven't said on a podcast?
Nothing.
before?
Absolutely
this movie's
nothing.
fucking great. It's
Yeah.
fucking great. But like everyone's said everything about why it's great.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Why is it not good?
There's no reason it's not good.
I have one big point. I guess it was just the time, but I was like kind of shocked that this movie's on Netflix and they just like said the N-word very hard.
Oh, from white guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
the days.
So I was, oh my god. And there definitely was like a lot of
My God, he got it.
sexism in it for the most part.
Oh yeah. Dude.
yeah.
I totally agree. It hurts to see those things now. Like I can't place myself. Like the point is that tells you something about these characters. It's not. I mean, it's not like Quentin Tarantino is like, yeah, I fucking love saying the N-word. Although it seems like maybe he does. I don't know.
It seems like it
But-
sometimes.
As
like,
someone who wrote the
these
story.
are the characters.
He
But
loves
no.
using racism as a way to make you not like a character or a way to get some.
But
that's
still,
what
it
I see.
is-
It's still very.
It is like abrasive just to hear
There
it.
were four
what I-
characters in a car saying
Yeah, well,
this stuff. What
once
do you
one
mean?
guy lets that word loose, it's like, are we saying this now? But the other thing
Not
that
how it would work in here.
what?
That's not how it would work in this room.
Just give me a couple minutes. The one thing that I'd say about Quentin Tarantino, to the point you brought up, John, is yeah, he writes all of that stuff in and like has people say all these racial slurs and whatnot. But he writes himself in and does that stuff. Like it kind of takes balls in my regards. Like if I'm asking my actors to say these words, like I'm also gonna do it because he also acts in the movie. You know?
So he does like.
Yeah, he does. He takes on a lot of the, from what I've read, the uncomfortable scenes and a lot of the uncomfortable things that like he asks his cast to do, which kind of gets him in trouble sometimes though, because when Michael Madsen's character spits in Uma Thurman's face in Kill Bill, that's actually Quentin Tarantino doing that, and they're like, why would you have to be the one to do that? She's like,
Because it's fun, Jan.
well, it's because he just didn't want to ask another actor to do that.
Yeah.
He wanted to, he's like, if I'm going to ask somebody else to do this, I should be willing to do this myself. So,
Which
So
is
did
very
he get
good.
spit on? Or
so he
was
spits on her.
I'd have more
So
respect for him if they like just.
Well, that
flipped
wasn't in the
camera
movie.
around.
They couldn't do that. Yeah. But yeah.
He writes himself dead in this movie.
Yeah. Out of nowhere. Like,
think
how does
it's-
his character die?
I think it's because he didn't have the acting chops.
I was-
I always
confused
thought
on
he
that
was.
too.
I always thought he was shot in the head, but it just hadn't like. It hadn't
Oh.
like fully gotten to
That makes sense.
like he was just going on like a chicken with its head cut off for a couple extra minutes there. I don't know, but I don't know if that's
I feel
true.
like they got
I always
pretty
thought it was
far
just
down
from the
that
car
road, though.
accident.
Yeah,
I thought it was just from the car accident, and then I watched it this time. I'm like, he doesn't look that banged up. Like,
Yeah.
So maybe you're probably right. It's
I
the
thought he was shot in the
gunshot.
head, and then he's kind of getting, delirious. He drives into a fucking car. I think that his brain was shutting down,
Yeah.
and he didn't know that he got shot in the head or something. But they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I always thought it was. But I
Or
don't
he
know.
died with his foot on the gas, you know? Is that what you guys just said?
No, because when he crashes the car, he's still conscious.
Oh, is he? Or he's losing blood.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of losing blood,
He would have
Tim
died.
Roth.
He would have died.
Tim Roth lost a lot of blood.
He lost a lot of blood.
That other guy lost an ear.
Can we talk about like maybe how they made that ear look like?
Yo, that's fucking.
cut
I don't know
off?
why you had to show it so many times. Like, I have no problem with anything else he did in this movie. Why did you have to fucking show that ear so many fucking times, dude? We get it. You didn't have to show it once. You could have just shown that they took it off, and that would be fine. Why did you have to keep showing that, man?
It skeeved me too.
He went to the special effects artist and he was like, listen, you're great. Okay? We want something that really make this movie pop.
Do you think that
That's
he
my
has
complaint.
an ear, or the guy doesn't have an ear?
do you
Like
mean?
in real life, the actor.
Oh,
Jack.
it was makeup.
Like, do you think they taped it down? It was
Jack.
1992. I think this is a fair question.
No, it's not.
Why?
Why? Ghostbusters was made before this. There aren't really ghosts all flying around New York.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
Jurassic
you
Park
don't know.
was made in 1993. Something.
All right.
I think 993, yeah.
They didn't
I
use real
take it back
dinosaurs.
then.
Tons of B movies in the 80s, like old horror movies that had like similar prosthetics and makeup.
Yeah, man. I mean, I could make it look like you got your ear cut off right now. Give me 5 minutes.
I think you just like tape it down. Like I think that would be
Give
the.
me 5 minutes, dude.
Yeah, I'd probably tape it down and
Just
put
trust
makeup
me.
over it.
Just watch a YouTube video.
Who'd you guys think was the best actor in this movie?
I mean, like I said, I gravitate towards Chris Penn just
Yeah.
because he's so magnetic on the screen.
I don't think he's a
But-
big part of the role.
No, Michael Madsen, I think, plays a pretty good psychopath.
Yeah, he's so good.
He plays a great psychopath, and I think one of like Quentin Tarantino's most iconic villains. And out of his first movie, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that Harvey Keitel's character overall, carries this movie. You know, he kind of is the machine that moves the plot forward. And you can just glean a lot of what's going on just by focusing on his character. You know,
For me, it's Tim Roth. I like that we all have a different
Yeah.
number one.
that was my next.
But I can't disagree at all with what you guys are saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I love him.
I'm going Mr. Pink.
Hell yeah, that's
There you
four
go.
different
Buscemi,
ones.
yeah.
It's a great answer, too.
It is crazy. But back to Tim Roth for a second.
He'd
and
be
I
my
do
number
want to
two.
talk about that. Huh?
Who's your number two? I don't know. Him
Oh.
just smoking cigs in the bathroom or kitchen really got me going.
Oh, speaking of that,
Oh, when he
sorry
comes
we're going
back
all
and
over the
freaks
place.
out, it's like a great scene.
Sorry we keep going all over the place, but smoking the cigarettes in the bathroom got me. What was with Harvey Keitel lighting that Zippo? He was just
Yeah.
trying to snap it, light it,
I love that.
and then the first time he does it, doesn't light his cigarette, and
Yeah.
then just smokes it like he has a lit cigarette. And then the second time he lights his real cigarette, he starts doing the snappy thing, and then he just says "fuck it" and lights it normal. At first, I was like, "Oh, is that like a special type of lighter you have to snap on?" And then he just does it normal. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, cool guy?"
Yeah, that was awesome.
See, that's where the movie got too cool for itself.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It made me want to get a nice lighter.
Yeah, it looked
Like
pretty
one
cool.
that clicks, you
made me
know,
wanna
like the
start
clink
smoking.
or whatever.
Smoking's
real
so
cigs.
cool.
Also,
Yeah,
him doing
dude.
his hair in the mirror in that scene.
How cool would it be to be like an old guy in the '90s?
Man,
Let me tell you.
well, not that cool. You'd probably be dead now.
Yeah, that's true too.
There's a lot of fun trivia with the budget on this movie because they had none.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, they pretty much blew their whole soundtrack budget on "Stuck in the Middle with You,"
Yeah.
which was dude, that was almost Ballroom Blitz, which would have completely changed
I
the
wouldn't.
scene.
I don't think I'd like it.
I think it would have made it. It would have made it more chaotic. I don't know because we have this one. It's just because the song is so upbeat and kind of happy makes it so much more disturbing.
Right, because
Yeah.
because it shows he's really enjoying himself.
Yeah.
He was good at dancing. I thought another a really little thing though is when he goes out to the car to get the gasoline, you can hear faintly there's a park nearby.
Yeah, I love that.
There's little kids and families that you can hear laughing and giggling.
Yeah, and
he
still
walks
like,
back in.
"Doo-doo-doo-doo."
Yeah, he's walking normally, and as soon as that door opens and it closes behind him, he's dancing with the gasoline.
Oh, that was a really good point.
That scene's so good, except for the fucking ear thing.
Are we close on time? Because I feel like we went heavy on the Pianist.
We're at 56 minutes.
All right, so I think we're gonna have a little bit of an argument here. So do you want to start switching to see what we're gonna decide?
I don't
on
know.
here?
Is there anything else? Oh, I love I don't know, I don't know what if this was a part of the set or just happened to be in that warehouse that they filmed this in, but above the door it says Tony, watch your head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Something I noticed this time that I'd never
too.
noticed before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time I saw that. You guys want to talk a little bit about the end here, the Mexican standoff?
Sure.
Do you think Do you guys think Mr. Pink gets away? I think
Yes.
no fucking shot.
No, he gets away.
I think what you hear is him getting caught.
Yeah.
Oh, there's sirens
when they pull up.
You hear yelling and shooting outside as soon as he goes outside.
The reason I feel
that.
And they had the building surrounded.
Oh, I didn't pick that up then. Because what I was originally going to say is Tim Roth's character was the undercover cop, and the whole time he's like, they're around the corner, but they never come, and he ends up dying, and everyone ends up shooting each other. So I just assumed that was them showing up late to the party again.
That's
no, I
what
think they were
assumed.
waiting for a signal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
And he
put that
couldn't
together.
give him a signal.
I didn't put that together, but you guys saying it, that makes more sense.
Because you can hear all the action as soon as Mr. Pink goes outside. I mean, I wish he got away. I wish that I could think that he got away, but I just don't think there's any way.
There's not a connection at all, I'm sure. But I thought it was kind of funny that he stashed the diamonds, and in Fargo, he stashes money in a snowbank to come pick up later. I just thought that was a funny little, he did
They
that
call the
twice.
diamonds ice.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't tip, but in Pulp Fiction, he's a waiter.
He's a waiter in Pulp Fiction?
He serves honey bun. And
You want bloody as hell or burnt to a crisp?
Right, yeah.
This movie is hilariously anti-cop.
Mm-hmm.
How does honestly, I think that I would think that Tarantino is, probably doesn't love the police. He doesn't back the blue, but how is he so anti-cop? He was a white dude growing up or living in LA. He did not get the worst of treatment from the police. I just wonder what made him this movie is incredibly anti-cop.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they show about a cop,
a lot.
Yeah.
So
So,
I feel like you have to hate everyone if you want to get away with hating just one group.
Oh yeah. And
I feel like who gets aside from cops, who's a group that gets completely maligned in this movie?
Yeah, I think it's just literally just cops. Yeah, because honestly,
I just meant with the racist stuff and sexist.
Yeah, but
stuff
that's the characters.
Oh.
I'm saying that the way that the way that Tarantino creates this story is the story is anti-cop. The characters are racist and sexist.
But wouldn't you call all heist movies anti-cop? Unless there's
sometimes no.
well, unless there's some sort of back and forth between the guys trying to catch the the people doing the heist and the heisters themselves. I don't know, whatever. I feel like most movies that have anti-hero type characters are mostly anti-law at the end of the day,
I've never really seen a cop get tortured in a movie though, so I can agree with you.
Oh, and
was
Mr.
cop
White's
torture.
character is arguably one of the protagonists. So Harvey Keitel. And at one point he says, "I just shot 3 cops, no real people."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
I forgot.
I mean,
about those
they're
lines,
it's all the. You would think maybe like Harvey Keitel and maybe Steve Buscemi are the people that you would root for a little bit as sort of protagonists.
They seem to have
And once
some
they see
moral
the cop
standing.
in the trunk, they love it, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the scene the fake scene of Tim Roth in the bathroom, and the cop is talking about being a fucking idiot cop, right? And then you have the cops talking about donuts, like just doing the classic cop shit in the
Talking
car.
about
Like,
donuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
it's
those
just so
scenes.
funny. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
And I definitely think they were likable when it showed that they didn't want to kill anyone. Like they were pissed that one guy shot up the diamond store.
Yeah.
You know.
But
to
then
John's point,
they don't
except
care.
the cops.
Right.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
I'm trying to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that as much as we were watching it, but it's definitely very anti-cop.
Yeah, Mexican standoff, guys.
Yeah, that was funny. Again, Chris Penn's character said "daddy" and "dad" way too much.
He also doesn't really get shot. His squib went off on accident, and he
really?
just collapsed because he thought that's what he should do, and Quentin Tarantino just decided to leave it.
Interesting. Can you see like no muzzle flash and stuff like that?
Well, you see Tim Roth shoot the dad, and no one shoots Chris Penn, but his squib goes off.
I thought Harvey Keitel shoots.
Or Harvey
Joe.
Keitel. Yeah.
But I thought he like went like that.
Watch it again.
I don't
It's
know. I
tough.
guess I just
Yeah.
assumed that because they
Yeah.
fall.
Well, I guess that's why they decided to keep it in because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
I
And
also
they're all
think it was
dead now. You can't reshoot the scene.
expensive to reshoot another scene on film too.
I was also very confused with that as well.
Yeah.
Like when watching it when it happened, I was like, there are 3 shooters.
Yeah.
Everyone pointed at different spots.
All right, I think we had to discuss it.
My favorite little trivia from the movie is Lawrence Tierney, who played Mr.
Joe.
Played Joe. Yeah.
Mr. Joe.
Was arrested on one of his days off from shooting for pulling a gun on his nephew. He was taken from his bail arraignment to the set to film another scene.
Jesus. Oh, do you guys also
a fucking
know
nut
that?
job.
Do you guys also know that Mr. Who's Tarantino? Brown, Blue.
Tarantino's Brown.
Mr.
Mr.
Brown.
Blue. You know he was actually like a seasoned criminal.
No,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What did he do?
Edward Bunker?
He was like a gangster
Yeah.
for like decades.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He's in other movies of Tarantino's.
I don't think he
Edward
is.
Bunker? He plays
Is he?
Almost
not
positive.
Almost.
Almost positive.
He's in The Longest Yard,
That might be one of
the
them.
remake.
That wasn't Tarantino?
Adam Tarantino.
Well,
I've
that's a
never
cool
seen
bit of
Pulp
trivia.
Fiction, but I thought
It's
I
on the
saw
list.
online that what?
It's on the list.
Oh, good. But it said that Mr. Pink was in it.
Yeah.
Really?
He's the waiter. That's what we were talking about before. He's a waiter in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, you're saying that
A lot of
people
these
think
people are in that.
people think he's the waiter in that movie?
Yeah, like that's
Oh,
his
that he
like
connects.
first appearance or second appearance.
Well, because Tarantino kind of does have like shared
So
universes. within
Reservoir
his
Dogs
movies.
and Pulp Fiction are closely related. Like they are definitely in the same universe.
Yeah,
because
Mr. Blonde, his name is what? Vic Vega.
Vic Vega,
And Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction is Vincent Vega.
they're brothers.
They're brothers.
And he had once upon a time had a plan to make a movie about them, like a prequel movie after Pulp Fiction, calling it like Double V Vega, and like another crime movie. But he said it took too long to get it written, and then they wound up being too old to play the parts, so scrapped it.
And then Travolta made Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
big comeback.
Yeah. There's a lot of like cool trivia because this is such a film bro movie that people put online. There's a lot of stories that happen around it. Worth reading.
Wes Craven, horror film director, walked out during the screening of this movie.
Because of the
What
ear
a
thing?
fucking Craven.
Because he said it's something with the violence, right? Like
Yeah, like, dude.
his movies condemn violence, and Quentin Tarantino was celebrating violence.
That is dumb.
Yeah.
They're both making money off of violence. It doesn't matter what way you frame it in your head.
Just like the U.S. government.
Hey guys, it's the Huge Movie Podcast, the only movie podcast that's anti-America.
I don't think he actually didn't like the movie. I think he still thinks it's a good movie. why he left.
Just sit through it. It's not that long.
It's not. It's pithy, man.
Pithy.
It's pithy.
What's pithy mean?
It's short and great.
There was
The
a lot
movie.
of blood. Did you guys like know at the beginning, like your first time watching? Because I feel like Chris and Connor have seen it a lot. Did you know who it was, like who the rat was at first?
No.
No.
Really?
No. Yeah.
All right.
It's very hard to put together, I think. It does a very good job
Yeah.
of hiding it.
I'd like
Especially because he's the one that is shot, right? So it's like,
Did you know?
He really gets shot.
I kind of did.
How-
I thought
how-
it was either the guy who got shot or I forget the older guy's name with the longer hair who really cared about him.
Oh, Mr.
Harvey
White.
Keitel.
So
Harvey
it was-
Keitel, yeah.
I thought it was one of those two,
Mm.
and I didn't really picture it as the guy who had like the cop in his trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely did a good job because I definitely thought about each one, but I was solid on the fact that it was either the guy who got shot or the guy who drove him to the spot.
Interesting.
I don't remember who I thought it was, but I remember being surprised.
I think I was surprised at Harvey Keitel shooting him at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I saw it.
Yeah, that's kind of, I would feel like really hard, you know? Especially because they did make such a, like a good bond.
Mm-hmm.
James.
I'm fucking dying.
You're gonna be okay. Wait, is it okay or gonna die? I forget which one.
I
I think it's you're gonna
what is
be
it?
okay.
He shot him at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because they got so close is why he shot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he kind of like pulled the
It was
wool
such a
over his eyes
betrayal,
and shit,
yeah.
I thought it was because he got shot for him, and it was actually true that he was the rat.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right. I think we need to figure this out because I think that we're gonna get into an argument.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going to argue. So to say we're going to get into an argument, who knows?
Chris, who do you think deserves to win?
So until we discuss further right now, and this is gonna upset a lot of people, I think that we move The Pianist forward over Reservoir Dogs.
I mean, that doesn't piss me off because I can pick either one.
I think John's upset about it
Why do you think I'm upset about it?
because you love Reservoir Dogs.
I don't know which one of these I think is a better movie.
Oh, okay.
If like it were up to me, I would put The Pianist in like its own award and move on Reservoir Dogs. Just
I would
'cause-
love to because I do not want to watch it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it deserves all the credit that it's been given,
Yeah.
but I just like don't think it fits for me watching in the future.
I think. I mean, I came in having no idea what I was going to pick. I feel the same way that you do, that this is going to be really hard. Because, like I said at the beginning, the movies set out to do very different things, and they both do an incredible job at those things. Maybe you could pull in the context and say that Reservoir Dogs is a movie that was kind of unlike any movie that was made before it
Sure.
in a lot of ways. So there's one argument. Other argument maybe is just like The Pianist, the incredible story is basically the vehicle for why this movie is great, and there's things that fit into that, but that's really what it is. Whereas Reservoir Dogs, there's like so many things about it that are great.
Yeah.
Acting, scripting, film, scene, like shots and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, maybe like that's me thinking right now. And I honestly did not come in here with the motive of picking Reservoir Dogs, but maybe that's where I'm leaning right now.
Because for me right now, and if like I said, I want to pick The Pianist, but it's just a slight advantage. It really comes down to, I think both of these movies you classify as great movies.
Yeah.
Right? But The Pianist is art piece, and Reservoir Dogs is full on entertainment. You know?
Pianist is a Rembrandt. Reservoir Dogs is a Jackson Pollock.
I like that description so much better because
Nice.
Reservoir Dogs is a piece of art in its own regard. I would say maybe it's a little bit more like Keith Haring,
Yeah.
The
maybe a
Pianist.
Basquiat.
It's like
Yeah.
Marvel versus DC.
No.
Yeah.
The Pianist is a John Lennon song. Reservoir Dogs is a Paul McCartney song.
The Beatles are gay, and I don't understand the
It's like
reference.
the Beach Boys versus the Beatles.
That's better.
Pianist, Beach Boys, Reservoir Dogs, Rolling Stones.
So they both
take
suck.
it.
The Pianist is a Sunday afternoon.
It's like
Reservoir Dogs is a Thursday night.
it's like old Kanye versus new Kanye. Kanye versus
The
yeah.
Pianist
Pianist
is
is
a lot
Pink
like
Polo
new
Kanye.
yeah.
Reservoir Dogs is 808s and Heartbreak Kanye.
Which Kanye is Black Mask Infowars Kanye?
Yay.
All right, let's stop this madness.
Yes, I really don't know, because if you start breaking these movies down further, it even gets more confusing. Like Reservoir Dogs, if we want to compare directors stylistically, not personally, Reservoir Dogs is the
A
blossoming.
lot more swings.
Yeah, and it's the blossoming of a fantastic director, where The Pianist is a director.
Established directors. Success coming to fruition.
Exactly. They're magnum opus, you know. So it's like, what do you value more? The acting. We have an ensemble cast, which kind of wasn't an ensemble cast until like this movie came out, almost, you know, because a lot of these guys were relatively unknown at the time, and all played phenomenal characters in Reservoir Dogs. And then you go to The Pianist. Adrian Brody, amazing. The surrounding actors,
Yeah, they didn't have big
amazing.
roles, but they were great still.
Right. So that's like another wash to me. I would say maybe the cinematography on The Pianist was better, just because it's 10 years later and they had better technology, I would feel like.
Yeah, but that's is that fair?
That's not fair.
I was
And think about the budgets.
not finished with my statement. But Reservoir Dogs has a lot more artistic what's it called? Swings, like you said before, and it was like cool and edgy compared to well composed and put together and expensive. Yeah, I was coming around to it, guys.
The Pianist.
The Pianist score is phenomenal too, and Reservoir Dogs soundtrack is.
Yeah. The Pianist is a Michelin star restaurant. Reservoir Dogs is your favorite local taco joint with fucking bottomless margaritas.
Wow.
Both are great.
Exactly.
And reasonably priced guacamole.
The Pianist is a Ducati and Reservoir Dogs is a Harley.
Indian.
I just want to be a part of the game.
You want to take an initial vote?
I don't know where I'm gonna vote. That's the issue. Like if we had a dead tie right now, I could be swayed either way.
I think
Yeah.
that's. Is that what's
Jack,
happening?
what's your vote?
I just said before, like I think it's such a good movie. I don't want to watch it again. And that's really the big thing for me. It was pretty fucking long. I'll tell you that.
It was
was
long.
really upsetting me at times.
Yeah.
And so
it's
that's
something
the
I can't.
only reason I don't want it to move forward, but I think it was so good.
But don't think of it in terms of like watching it again. Obviously, through the bracket, you're gonna have to watch it again. But if you just saw this movie and we weren't doing this, like, did you think it was a phenomenal movie? That's the way I look at it.
I mean, it definitely was. Do I think it probably was better than Reservoir Dogs? Yeah, because I like history and stuff like that. But at the same time, which movie would I want to watch again sooner? It would be Reservoir Dogs. I was even saying to myself, like, I wish this was a TV show.
Can't say don't think about that because that's a huge thing.
That
too.
has value.
As I said it, I was remembering all the times that I said which movie would you want to watch again in other episodes.
All right,
definitely
I
has
just-
value.
I'm going Reservoir Dogs.
But I'm fine either way. I'll go with either.
I'm going Reservoir Dogs.
As Chris sighs again.
No, because I'm honestly like literally I'm teetering too.
Then it
Yeah,
comes down to
we all
which
are.
one do I want to watch
I'm
again.
just saying that if we pick Reservoir Dogs, we need to give The Pianist like its own award for like its own thing. It's a winner of the bracket, but it might not have gone through.
Winner of the
Because I
child
do think
rapist bracket.
it is so good
Yeah,
to
can't
rewatch.
forget
That is a
that.
big
Like-
bracket.
To rewatch The Pianist like every 10 years, I think is great. Like it does have a
Yeah.
rewatchable aspect to it.
If it
The last time
wasn't
I-
so fucked up, they should show it in schools.
They might show it in film classes. I saw the upsetting movies in
Hey,
film classes.
you know what should be the deciding factor? Reservoir Dogs is like the last fucking decent movie on Netflix. That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
paid $4.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$4 to get depressed on Amazon Prime.
I know.
Oh, you
yeah.
got the standard version?
Yeah.
You didn't want to buy the HD?
Fuck no.
I, had to-
Spend
I couldn't
17?
rent it. It was
No.
only available to buy from it yesterday, so I rented it on Apple TV.
Wait, I got The Pianist last week for free on Prime.
We missed it.
And then it was going away. I saw,
Yeah.
I almost texted
I
you
watched it
guys.
Sunday.
Oh,
I couldn't. I would have had to wait anyway.
I was going to
'cause
tell you guys.
It's fucked
I
up.
wouldn't remember a lot of stuff. I have to watch them.
Never forget.
Damn, dude.
All right, so it's
I'm sticking with Reservoir Dogs. It doesn't feel good.
I'm about to flip over the other way and go Reservoir Dogs. Because, like, again, not only was this heart-wrenching, right, The Pianist, but it was 2.5 hours. Reservoir Dogs gave us a clean, entertaining, like, fun romp in, what,
90
1.5?
minutes.
90 minutes?
it kind of reminded me of like the Rick and Morty episode where it's like the crew over the other crew.
Yeah, I mean, they're ripping on all these types of movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I loved that.
But that Reservoir Dogs is arguably the coolest heist movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm a film bro.
That is true. I'm sick of people demonizing bros. I know there's a lot of bad parts in their culture. There's a lot of bad parts in a lot of different cultures. But to be a bro, it's not that bad.
I didn't even know
I
it
want
was
to demonize bros
demonized.
more.
But John, you're such a bro. You're a self-hating bro.
You're the embodiment of a bro.
Yeah, dude. How many bands are you in?
That's not what a bro is.
It's pretty bro.
Long hair and tattoos. You're a bro.
Yeah. Objectify women.
Fuck.
You're a bro.
You drink IPAs. You're a hipster, bro.
No, even worse. You drink like Kentucky barrel aged.
Oh no, yeah, the Game of Thrones.
Oh, I love that shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
John.
what? What is it?
I
It's like
accept you as
barrel
a
aged
fellow bro.
like bourbon beer.
It has a special name, right?
Fuck it, I'm a bro. Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, bro,
Reservoir Dogs.
culture.
I don't know the
baby.
name of it. Yeah.
We're taking it back.
Maybe we should go with Pianist.
Why you want to separate?
Reservoir
yourself
Dogs
from the
goes up
bros?
against Silence of the Lambs.
Are we saying Reservoir Dogs?
It's just not fair. Look at all these matchups of fucking like 1950s movies. And we have to pick between these two right now.
I know this would blow out so many.
Audible. We take away one
Back
of
to
the
the Future is on this
1950s
fucking list?
movies.
Yeah,
Can't do it.
I think that makes it fun though.
Yeah, that's what makes it hard.
I know.
That's what makes it hard. And
Yeah.
I haven't told you guys yet, but I want us all to make our own brackets of like top 25, let's say, and then put those into quadrants for another full bracket.
Could do that. That wouldn't take as long.
Right.
All right.
I think I've moved over to Reservoir Dogs for sheer watchability.
All right, Reservoir Dogs. It is. No more discussion.
Man.
Join us.
It's
You
hard.
mean argument?
Argument, no
It
more.
really is hard because honestly, I would say for both of these movies, they could beat any other movie on the bracket, any other movie that we've gone over so far, and
Not any, but a lot of them.
there's an argument for it.
There's an argument for it.
I don't think we've seen any movie that would blow these out of the water.
Yeah.
I think this was the hardest week.
Absolutely.
Mainly because
Absolutely.
this is like one of the few weeks I've watched both.
All right. So, congratulations, Reservoir Dogs. Tarantino gets his first up on the board. We're sorry, Roman. Why don't you think about that with your underage wife?
She was
not wife.
13.
Oh,
Not what.
victim. Right. So, like Connor said before, that's going to go up against
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. I forgot immediately.
What's next?
All right, what are we doing?
So I would do.
Oh, there's also Lion King and Glorious Bastards.
I would do that matchup. I would do.
I was gonna say
Good Will
Django and Old Boy.
I would also do that one.
What's Old Boy?
Old Boy
Old
has the
Boy's
chance to
kinda
win.
Sick.
Yeah.
Has a chance to
Kinda
win.
sick.
Oh, I haven't
whole
seen it.
bracket.
It's
the whole-
weird.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
It's weird but good.
It has a chance to win the whole fucking thing.
Is Gary Oldman in it?
I disagree with that, but it's awesome.
It's so good.
Do we want to
It
do?
also might lose to Django. So.
Do we want to do 2 Tarantinos in a row? Okay. Then that's the most intriguing one for me. Then
Let's do it.
Okay, Django Unchained and Old Boy. So one of our closest matchups. I think the closest matchup in terms of seeding.
All right, let's wrap it up.
all right. So thanks for being patient, guys. I'm sure I edited that to make it a seamless transition. Next week's matchup, we have I lost it on the screen. The 62 seed Django Unchained versus the 67 seed Old Boy. Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino. Can he ride the momentum from his last win in order to push another one of his movies through the bracket?
If you thought he liked people saying the N-word before, just wait.
Pull up those pants and get ready.
He doesn't. I don't think him as a character says the N-word in this one. He definitely says black fella, which feels worse somehow.
That actually feels pretty nice.
The way
feel like
he
that's
says
way
it.
better.
The 1860s or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he goes, "You're pretty." He says something like, "You're pretty good for a black fella" or something.
smart. I think
Smart,
Something
yeah,
like that,
that's what it
yeah.
is.
Or quick. I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
I
I can't wait to watch either of these. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
I haven't seen
I'm
Django.
psyched.
And,
Yeah.
haven't seen Old Boy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Django Unchained in a very long time. That's one of the movies I try to come back to at least once a year. And Old Boy is just a movie all on its own.
Fuck yeah.
It's so cool.
Getting pumped.
I've never seen either.
You should start watching them now.
Oh, Django's really fun.
Wait, you've
I-
never
Talk to watch a
seen
little bit, yeah.
Django?
Who is the actor in it?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is the
Okay, I
lead.
think
Yeah.
maybe I have, but like a long time ago and on
Yeah.
a plane.
We have to talk. We got to
It's a
talk
tough
Jamie
plane
Foxx.
movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
There's a lot of violence. I don't know.
We got to talk Jamie Foxx in that episode.
I'm sure we will.
Sure.
All right. Well, all I have to say is if I were Harvey Keitel in a Mexican standoff, I would shoot Orson Welles twice.
And on
Fuck
that
Citizen
note,
Kane.
fuck Citizen Kane. See you next time.